It is 3:22 a.m. The Persian Gulf, 47 nautical miles northwest of the Strait of Hormuz, in water so shallow that the keel of a fully loaded supertanker can pass within meters of the seafloor. The Gulf here runs between 35 and 60 meters deep enough to hide what needs to be hidden, shallow enough that sound travels unpredictably, bouncing between the surface and the bottom in ways that make acoustic detection geometrically complex and professionally demanding. The water temperature at the surface is 29 degrees Celsius, dropping to 24 at depth. The salinity is high. The Persian Gulf loses more water to evaporation than it receives from rivers and rainfall, making it one of the saltiest bodies of water in the world. That salinity affects acoustic propagation. It affects sonar performance. It affects the behavior of every sensor system that relies on sound to see through water. The people who deployed what is currently sitting on the bottom of this shipping lane understood all of this. They chose this location for reasons that have nothing to do with coincidence. USS Harry F. Truman, CVN 75, is 14 hours from this position. She is currently in the Gulf of Oman, completing a replenishment at sea with a combat store ship that has topped off her aviation fuel, her weapons magazines, and her food stores. In 14 hours, she will begin her transit through the Strait of Hormuz and into the Persian Gulf. It will be the third time in 18 months that an American carrier has made this transit. It will be if the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy's planning has worked as intended, the last time one does so without paying a price that changes the strategic calculus of carrier operations in the region forever. The IRGCN has spent 14 months preparing for this moment. The preparation began not with weapons, but with intelligence. Specifically, with the study of the shipping lane geometry that deep draft vessels must follow when transiting from the Strait of Hormuz northwest toward the Kuwaiti and Saudi port approaches. The Persian Gulf's navigable channels for vessels of carrier draft are not arbitrary. They are constrained by the bathymetry, the underwater topography, of a shallow sea that has sandbars, coral formations, and depth variations that force large ships onto predictable tracks. The IRGCN analyzed these tracks. They analyzed the patterns of American carrier transits over the previous 5 years. They identified 3 locations where the navigable channel narrows sufficiently that a carrier would have no realistic option to deviate significantly from a known track. Then they deployed mines, not the contact mines of the Second World War, the spherical black objects with protruding horn detonators that popular imagination associates with the word mine. What the IRGCN deployed in the target area are EM52 rocket-propelled rising mines, a weapon design derived from Chinese technology, improved and modified by Iranian defense engineers over more than a decade of sustained development. The EM52 sits on the bottom in relatively shallow water and waits. Its acoustic sensor, a passive hydrophone array that processes the sound signature of passing vessels, listens continuously. When a vessel matching its programmed target parameters passes overhead or within range, the mine's solid-fueled rocket motor ignites, driving the weapon upward through the water column at high speed. The rocket is not a torpedo. It does not maneuver. It simply goes up, fast, and what it lacks in guidance sophistication, it compensates for in speed. A weapon rising at 50 knots through 50 meters of water reaches its target in under 4 seconds, which is faster than any close-in defense system can engage a threat coming from directly below. The IRGCN deployed 23 EM52 mines across 3 positions in the target shipping lane between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. on 2 consecutive nights, using converted dhows operating without lights and with their AIS transponders disabled. The deployment was conducted during a period of reduced American naval patrol activity that the IRGCN surveillance of Fifth Fleet operations had identified as a recurring pattern, not a predictable gap, but a statistical reduction in MH-60R helicopter coverage between 2200 and 0300 on weekend nights. The mines were deployed on a Saturday night and a Sunday night. The dhows moved slowly, within the noise signature of the commercial shipping traffic that passes through these waters continuously. They made no radar emissions. They transmitted nothing on any frequency. They deployed their weapons at precise GPS-marked coordinates and departed before first light. The IRGCN's plan depended on one assumption above all others, that the mines would not be detected before USS Truman transited the minefield. This assumption is the load-bearing wall of the entire operation. Remove it and everything else collapses. And the assumption is, as of 3:22 a.m. on this morning, already wrong. Though the IRGCN does not yet know it is wrong. At 2:47 a.m., USS Gladiator, MCM 11, one of the United States Navy's Avenger-class Mine Countermeasures ships, detected the first anomaly. Gladiator has been conducting a mine hunting evolution in the target shipping lane for the previous 19 hours, assigned to this tasking based on an intelligence advisory that was generated 6 days ago when Signals Intelligence Assets detected IRGCN mine warfare logistics traffic, the movement of specialized containers, the activation of mine assembly facility communications, the increased activity around a dhow fleet known to have been used for covert operations in previous years. The intelligence advisory did not say mines had been deployed. It said the indicators were consistent with mine deployment preparation and that mine countermeasures operations in the carrier's planned transit corridor should be conducted before the transit. This is the part of the story that never makes it into the public narrative of naval operations, because the public narrative of naval operations focuses on the dramatic moments, the intercepts, the engagements, the confrontations. What the public narrative consistently underweights is the grinding, unglamorous, physically demanding work of mine hunting. An Avenger-class ship moving at 8 knots through a shipping lane, towing a sonar array 200 meters below her keel, with a crew of 84 sailors staring at sonar displays and listening to processed acoustic returns for any return that is inconsistent with the natural seafloor. Mine hunting is one of the most technically demanding specialties in naval warfare. It is also one of the most anonymous. Nobody writes newspaper articles about mine countermeasures ships. The anomaly that Gladiator's AN/SQQ-32 mine hunting sonar detected at 2:47 a.m. was a discrete bottom contact at a depth of 43 meters, bearing 027, range approximately 180 meters from the ship's current position. The sonar return was not definitively a mine. The Persian Gulf seafloor in this area contains debris, anchor chains, fishing equipment, historical wreckage, that creates returns similar to the mine signature. The mine hunting watch officer logged the contact, designated it as a possible mine, and reduced the ship's speed to allow the sonar to build a more detailed picture. By 3:08 a.m., the contact picture had sufficient definition for the AN/SQQ-32's classification algorithm to assign it a mine probability score of 0.84. Not certain, not a definitive classification, but 0.84 on a scale where 1.0 is absolute certainty is, in the professional judgment of a mine warfare officer with 12 years of experience, enough to warrant treating the contact as a confirmed mine until proven otherwise. The watch officer called the commanding officer. The commanding officer reviewed the contact picture and agreed. The contact was designated as a probable mine, and Gladiator began the systematic search of the surrounding seafloor that the tactical procedure requires. Over the next 4 hours and 37 minutes, the crew of USS Gladiator found 22 more. 23 bottom contacts in total, distributed across a pattern that bore no relationship to the random distribution of seafloor debris, and every relationship to a deliberate, GPS-referenced minefield deployment. The pattern was logged. The positions were recorded with the precision of a system that has been developed over decades to do exactly this work. At 5:44 a.m., Gladiator's commanding officer transmitted an OPREP, operational report, to 5th Fleet Headquarters in Manama, Bahrain, detailing 23 probable mines in the carrier's planned transit corridor. USS Truman's transit was suspended. This is not a dramatic decision. It is the correct decision, made without hesitation, by a chain of command that had prepared for exactly this contingency, and that understood, with complete institutional clarity, that delaying a carrier transit by 48 hours costs nothing compared to what happens if the transit proceeds through an uncleared minefield. The mine threat is not a bluff to be called. It is a physical reality to be resolved. And the United States Navy has the capability to resolve it. The resolution begins with MH-53E Sea Dragon helicopters. The Navy's dedicated airborne mine countermeasures aircraft, operated by Helicopter Mine Countermeasures Squadron 15 from Naval Air Station Sigonella in Sicily, and forward deployed to Bahrain for exactly this contingency, carries the AN/AQS-24 Airborne Mine Hunting System, a combined laser line scan and synthetic aperture sonar that can be towed through the water from a hovering helicopter to build a high-resolution picture of the seafloor. 2 MH-53Es were airborne from Bahrain at 7:15 a.m., 90 minutes after Gladiator's OPREP was received. They reached the mine threat area at 8:03 a.m. and began their systematic survey of the Gladiator-identified contact positions. By 11:30 a.m., the MH-53E survey had confirmed 21 of Gladiator's 23 contacts as definitive mines and identified an additional 4 contacts that Gladiator's sonar had not resolved, a total confirmed mine count of 25. The additional contacts were clustered in a sector just north of Gladiator's search area, suggesting the Dezhou crew had made 2 passes rather than 1 through the target area. The complete picture of the minefield was now known. The position of every mine was recorded to within approximately 3 meters. The task that remained was neutralization. Mine neutralization in a high-value transit corridor is conducted using a combination of methods. The most precise is the use of remotely operated mine disposal vehicles, the AN/SLQ-48 Mine Neutralization System, deployed from Avenger-class ships, which swims to a confirmed mine location under remote control, attaches a shaped charge explosive device to the mine's casing, withdraws to a safe distance, and detonates the charge. The neutralization is point precise and leaves no significant seafloor debris that could complicate subsequent sonar surveys. The AN/SLQ-48 is not fast. Each neutralization evolution takes between 25 and 45 minutes, depending on bottom conditions and mine accessibility. 25 mines at 35 minutes average per mine is approximately 14.5 hours of continuous mine disposal operations. Gladiator began neutralization operations at 12:14 p.m. She was joined at 1:47 p.m. by USS Scout, CM-8, the second Avenger-class ship that had been operating in the Gulf of Oman and was diverted north through the strait to assist. Two AN/SLQ-48 systems operating simultaneously reduced the timeline. The neutralization operations continued through the afternoon and evening. Each detonation, a muffled thump transmitted through the water that the remaining mine contacts did not respond to, because the EM52, sitting on the bottom, awaiting the specific acoustic signature of a large surface ship, was not triggered by the small explosive charges of a mine disposal system. At 11:43 p.m., USS Gladiator's commanding officer transmitted the final clearance report to 5th Fleet. All 25 confirmed mine contacts neutralized. The transit corridor had been cleared. The seafloor survey following the final neutralization showed no remaining anomalous contacts in the designated transit lane. The lane was safe for transit by vessels of carrier draft. USS Truman entered the Strait of Hormuz at 6:30 a.m. the following morning, 22 hours later than her original schedule. She transited the cleared lane at 14 knots with a mine countermeasures escort, Gladiator and Scout, one on each side of the carrier's projected track, their sonar systems active throughout the transit in case any mines had been missed or any new deployment had occurred during the clearance period. No additional contacts were found. The carrier passed through the former minefield area at 9:14 a.m., her keel clearing the seafloor by approximately 12 meters at the shallowest point of the transit, the same 12 meters that had separated her from 25 EM52 rocket-propelled rising mines 36 hours earlier. The crew of USS Harry S. Truman, for the most part, knew that their transit had been delayed by a mine threat and that the threat had been cleared. The specific details, the 25 mines, the 14.5 hours of neutralization operations, the AN/SLQ-48 system, making its patient, precise runs across a Gulf seafloor at 43 meters depth, were known primarily to the people who had done the work. The mine countermeasures crews of USS Gladiator and USS Scout, who had been awake for most of 36 hours by the time the carrier transited, watched CVN-75 pass through the cleared corridor from their bridge wings and then went below to sleep. Their work was done. It had been done correctly. The carrier was safe. In the after-action analysis conducted by 5th Fleet Intelligence, several conclusions emerged that shaped subsequent operations in the Gulf. The first was that the IRGCN's mine deployment had been technically competent. The EM52 is a serious weapon. The deployment pattern was well designed, and the choice of location reflected genuine knowledge of carrier transit geometry. The second was that the intelligence indicators preceding the deployment had been sufficient to trigger mine countermeasures operations before the transit, and that the 6-day lead time between the intelligence advisory and the carrier's scheduled transit had been exactly enough to conduct a thorough survey and clearance. The third conclusion, the one that the mine warfare officers found most operationally significant, was that the IRGCN had deployed 25 mines, and that American mine countermeasures assets had found and neutralized all 25. Not 24, not 23, all 25. The margin matters. In mine warfare, a single undetected mine is the difference between a successful clearance and a catastrophe. The crews of Gladiator and Scout had worked their sonar systems with the meticulous, patient professionalism that mine hunting demands and found every weapon the IRGCN had placed in that corridor. The AN/SQQ-32 sonar system, the AN/AQS-24 airborne system, and the AN/SLQ-48 disposal vehicle had performed exactly as designed. The training pipeline that produces Avenger-class crews, a 2-year qualification process that is among the most demanding in the surface warfare community, had produced crews capable of executing a complex mine clearance operation under time pressure without missing a single contact. The IRGCN's operation had failed completely. Not partially, not approximately. The minefield had been found before the carrier transited it, cleared before the carrier transited it, and the carrier had transited it safely. The 14-month preparation, the precision deployment, the carefully chosen location, all of it had been defeated by an intelligence advisory, 2 mine countermeasures ships, 2 MH-53E helicopters, and 84 sailors per ship who understood their mission and executed it with complete fidelity. Mine warfare is the oldest form of naval area denial. Mines have been used to control waterways since the American Civil War. They are cheap, they are persistent, they require no crew after deployment, and they are extraordinarily difficult to defend against completely. The IRGCN understands all of this. Their investment in mine warfare capability is serious and sustained. The EM52 is not their only weapon in this category. They have contact mines, influence mines, smart mines with sophisticated target discrimination, an inventory of undersea denial weapons that represents one of the most significant asymmetric threats to American naval operations in the Gulf. But the United States Navy understands mine warfare too. It has understood it since the USS Samuel Byron Roberts struck an Iranian mine in 1988 and nearly sank, an event that shaped a generation of Navy thinking about the mine threat and produced sustained investment in the countermeasures capability that was demonstrated this week. The Avenger-class exists because of that investment. The AN/SQQ-32 exists because of that investment. The MH-53E mine hunting mission exists because of that investment. And the intelligence architecture that generated the advisory 6 days before the deployment was complete. That exists because of 35 years of sustained attention to what Iran puts in the water and where. USS Truman conducted flight operations in the Persian Gulf for 18 days following her transit. She launched approximately 340 strike sorties in support of theater security commitments. She transited back out through the Strait of Hormuz on schedule, through a lane that Gladiator and Scout had pre-surveyed, with the same mine countermeasures escort she had entered with. No additional mines were found. The Persian Gulf is not Iran's private lake. American carriers have transited it with regularity for 4 decades, and they will continue to transit it, because the capability to clear the mines that Iran places in their path is as much a part of American naval power as the carriers themselves. The minefield failed. The carrier sailed through. The mine hunters went to sleep. Bye for now.